If I were a sniper, what kind would I be? Would I kill my foes in one shot, or would it fucking take me three? Got a nice collateral headshot earlier in this game, and if I keep on playing, I hope I do the same. If I were a sniper in Black Ops 3. Hey, what's up? It's Nerve. Sick of World War II, if I could talk. So I decided to come back and play some Black Ops 3 again. And it's funny how when a new game comes out and pisses you off, all of a sudden the game that you were just playing that was pissing you off seems so much better. And that's kind of the case, what I'm dealing with at this point, because World War II has so many issues. The connections are weird. It's hit marker city. The weapon balance is all fucked up. The sniping is ridiculous. Like this game, when you scope in, it's pretty fast, but it's nowhere as fast as it is in World War II. I mean, it's at least a half second faster or a second faster or something, and it's way overpowered. I mean, you can easily, if you're good at sniping, you can easily win gunfights against SMGs at close range, even when they shoot you first, because then there's like no flinch. So it's just complete garbage. And then on top of everything else, during the beta, Sledgehammer was all like, oh, there's no anti-cheat in place right now, but as soon as the game launches, the anti-cheat software is going to be installed and it's going to be working and blah blah blah. So towards the end of the beta, it was just Hacker City, and that's what it's becoming now that the game's even live. It seems like at first it was, you know, just a cheater here and there, an aimbot or wall or whatever, but now it's almost every freaking match, and it's just, it pisses me off. And I've been talking to friends about this. It's bullshit because you pay $60 for a game, and then in position of someone like me, where I'm trying to help the community out, I'm trying to be proactive and stop problems before they become disasters, and I end up spending time. I'm recording people using aimbot and walls. I'm recording the kill cams. You know, I'm going back, editing the videos, posting them to, you know, uploading them, and then sharing them to Twitter. I shared it with two different people on Twitter. A video I did, some cheaters, and I also uploaded it to an Activision employee on the Activision website, and I also reported them multiple times in game. That's 4 different places I uploaded these motherfuckers. Tell me why it is a week later, when anti-cheat software is supposed to be already in place, doing its own work by itself, why is it these 2 of the 3 accounts are still active and hacking and cheating and fucking with people in lobbies? It pisses me the fuck off completely. You know, I paid $60 to play a game. I did not pay $60 to do your fucking jobs for you. It's bullshit, you know? So with that in mind, they're not going to fix it. I'm not going to play the game. So it is what it is. And today on Twitter, Activision assist responded back to me, and they're like, oh, you know, apologize, I was working on it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, hurry the fuck up. Because I'm telling you, day one, there was, what, about 40,000 people, 50,000 people online at once? And it was insane. I was like, holy shit. You know, this game's repopulated or whatever. But now, you know, I'm not going to be specific here, but my assumption, based on what I've looked at, the game is already about half dead. I mean, later in the evening, you only see about 7,000 or 8,000 people on for a brand new game. So, I don't know. Anyway, I jumped back in and played several matches with my buddy Wartank, and got some decent gameplays, which I'm sharing now.
Dude, I would like hit marker you so much, Nerve, and your teammates.
Honestly, why it's happening?
And also had a little bit of good news to share. I mean, it's actually huge good news, but it's also, to me, it's good sad news because of the circumstances. You know, I made a video years ago talking about why my name is Mr. Nerve Damage. It's because I have multiple sclerosis, and how I, worked my ass off for almost a decade after being diagnosed with MS and going back to school and all kinds of stuff to try and better my life. But it got to a point in 2015 when the symptoms or the effects of the multiple sclerosis had gotten to a point where I could no longer do my job anymore, and I had to leave that specific aspect of the workforce. So I could no longer do that type of work, and I ended up looking for lesser work and couldn't find any while I had applied for disability right before, and I ended up getting denied after 5-6 months. The first time I applied, got a law office involved, got denied again during the appeal process, or the reconsideration stage, which is common, and it's the way it usually works, I guess, for most people. And then we had to wait another year for the hearing, and I just had the hearing in September with an administrative law judge. So, the law judge looks at all the evidence, he asks you some questions. My fiance came in and answered some questions as well. The lawyer, or my attorney, he asked some questions also and kind of cross-examined the situation. So, the hearing went really well, though. The judge was a nice guy, the stenographer, the vocational expert, they were all really great people. And they seemed very understanding and, answered the questions well, as I could, I guess. And my attorney even said after the hearing was over that, it went as well as it possibly could have. He was like, in terms of how these things take place, your hearing went as well as I could possibly have imagined. And he said, while that may not always lead to a favorable decision, he said 9 times out of 10 it does. So at the end of the day, I've been waiting for 2 months to hear the result from that. It's just been waiting on top of waiting on top of waiting. It's been almost 3 years. It's been, I think, it was March of 2015 or February when I applied. So I'm only about 4 months away from it being 3 years of waiting for this. And Wednesday I called the Social Security office, and they said that it was a favorable decision and that I should be getting the paperwork soon. Got the paperwork today, and it was fully favorable, and the paperwork outlined the judge's entire decision-making process, all the things that went into it, all the medical evidence that supported that I was legally and federally disabled based on government standards. So now it's a matter of waiting for back pay and all that crap and the rest of the documentation and paperwork that has to be done or whatnot. So hopefully that comes through soon, because that's the positive part of it. Now I'll be able to actually contribute financially to the household again. The financial stuff won't be a burden anymore, and I'll be able to pay my bills and just kind of live my life for what it's worth. I know lately the MS stuff's been amplifying, and I don't know what's going on with that, or if I'm hitting that 10-year wall. People with MS, a lot of times about 10 years after being diagnosed, go from having hardly any symptoms to getting a lot worse a lot faster, and that worries me. And I want to do everything that I can to stay as healthy as possible. But it's tough, because in my situation, my muscles wear out fatigue faster than people that don't have MS. So, I sit on a total gym and try and work my arms or back for 5 minutes. It feels like I've been doing push-ups for 6 hours. My muscles just kind of collapse on me, and it's a pain in the ass. Same thing with my energy levels. Like, I get worn out way faster than people that don't have MS. So, I never have energy anyway. But when I try to do something healthy, like exercise, I just get worn out instantly. So, but I got to figure something out. A doctor told me a couple months ago he thought I had an ulcer because of some stomach issues, and I think I talked about that in a previous video where I got scoped from both ends, and they didn't see any ulcers, but they did find inflammation and bleeding, all this stuff. So I've got to quit smoking. I've got to cut back on any unhealthy shit like Cokes, and greasy foods. I've actually cut most of that out of my diet to try and treat the stomach issue, but it's not going away. So, you know, the whole Zantac twice a day thing, just it's not it's not something you can do for long periods of time, because stomach acid's a good thing. You know, it keeps your it keeps the bacteria in your stomach in check, and apparently using too many acid reducers actually can cause weird side effects, like increased chance of getting allergies and pneumonia and stomach diseases and viruses and all this weird shit. So anyway, just an update on all those types of things. I did get approved, which is positive. It sucks that I have MS, but I don't know. There's a doctor that's working on nanotechnology using stem cells. Supposedly by 2020, she's hoping to have some clinical trials where the stem cells will be administered via nanotechnology, like microscopic robots, pretty much, so that they can be delivered exactly where they need to be. Because the only treatment right now that's a potential quote-unquote cure for MS, the only main one is stem cell therapy that's delivered along with chemotherapy. And honestly, there's no guarantee that it's the stem cells that are helping to lessen or remove the MS, because you're also getting chemotherapy, and chemotherapy destroys your immune system pretty much completely. So, you know, there's a chance that it's the chemo that's actually doing the work on the MS, and there's so many side effects and problems that can come from chemo that's not really a reliable way to go, oh, I'll just do that. So I don't know. I'm going to try and do all the positive things that I can to get as healthy as possible, and in the meantime, you know, hopefully the positive changes and things that are about to happen will allow me to live in a better place, upgrade some equipment, and just live a happier, healthier lifestyle, which will hopefully translate to some better content for you guys. But anyway, yeah, just an update, and hopefully some decent stuff to watch in the background. And thanks for stopping by, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.